Hi, welcome to BackChat, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Michael Kroupnik, the director of MICMA Zambia. Welcome, Michelle.
Thanks for having me.
So please, could you talk us through your business journey in Zambia?
Sure. I mean, I grew up in Zambia. My family's been here for now three generations. My kids will be the fourth. We've over the years, obviously, as you can imagine, we've had several businesses, but the ones that I manage now, the group of companies that I manage now, is I'd say predominantly the one that is the most known is MICMAR. MICMAR is the chain of retail stores.
Okay.
Specializes in hardware and building materials and the like, household items. We have a copper processing factory up in Solwezi.
Okay. We
manufacture LME grade copper cathode. Very proud of that little factory there. We have over the years been quite active in property development. This where we are now, Agora Village being our latest project.
Okay.
So we've been active in the commercial property development, not so much the residential. And apart from that, I am a co-founder in a microfinance company that specializes in SME loans.
Okay.
So we're very proud of the milestones and achievements that business has done in terms of impact, economic and social.
Okay, what's the name of the company?
In the credit.
In the credit. Okay.
Yeah, it started in Solwezi, actually worked its way to Kitwe, and this year hopefully will expand it to Lusaka, which is quite the opposite of a company's growth. Usually starts from Lusaka and going out. And then the most recent venture, which is still in the build-up, but hopefully this year we'll have some major announcements to make, is in the forest carbon market.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that because it has far more reaching, far more impactful potential than your ordinary business, especially socially and in the geographical area it will be taking place. So in terms of business journey, that kind of sums up where we are now currently.
Okay, that's great. Very, very inspiring. You've spoken about a few business ventures that you've been working on and in various sectors. What is the most exciting sector for you and for international investment right now?
For me, I must say, the fact that I'm not solely focused on one industry is what excites me the most. If I had the capacity, both personally and also financially, to do more, there are certain other sectors I would venture into. But I think let's talk about MICMAR, which is I'd say directly related to say the construction industry and the general development of the country. I am very excited about that. Just if you look at the demographics and the need for development in our country is tremendous, right?
Yeah.
So there will be a challenge to keep up with that population growth, but the upside is there, definitely. In terms of development, like the likes of Agora, there's still enough space to explore, not just in Lusaka, but further. And I can tell you that recently we've been getting guests, obviously, as business increases with our service partners, we've been getting a lot of guests from neighboring countries that are all pitching for partnership to take this model to Congo, to Zimbabwe. People like this model. Something new in Zambia, something new clearly in these countries as well. So that excites me as well. Very exciting, again, because of the direct impact that we see is in the credit, the SME lender. We pay a lot of attention to its social impact as well as economic impact. So we have a social impact report, which we're very proud of, which now has kind of monetized the impact in terms of jobs it creates. So for every X amount of kwacha or dollars that we lend out, so many jobs are created. And then from those jobs, what is the impact in terms of gender balance, for example, right? And I mean, we all know access to finance is a big challenge in this country.
It is, yeah.
And so the gap is just not, it's not just a gap, it's a gorge we need to fill. So filling that gap is what a great challenge. And I must say, other than exciting, it's probably the most rewarding venture that I'm into now. Lastly, like I said, the carbon forest, huge, climate impact, right? I mean, the fact that we have these vast pieces of land with thick forest and savannas sitting there, and yet we only discovering now what their true value is, apart from them, just as existing and contributing to the climate positively. There's actually money to be made, and I reckon it'll be probably, it could potentially be an export market for us. As big as even our beloved copper. Why not? Beyond that, I mean, the big thing here has always been mining, right? I think now we've got a bit of stability, and the markets, the commodity prices are in our favor to really make it as a country. And so, together with a much more, say, mining-friendly, business-friendly government, we can see now the ground being laid, the playgrounds really being set up for these big investments to come back to Zambia. So mining's definitely a big one, but not just stopping at mining, processing, taking that ore and doing something with it, a finished product. Finished product, I don't mean by just cathodes, I'm taking it further. There's a lot of semi or finished products which we still import, unfortunately, from abroad. At Micmar, we're one of the biggest importers of copper-related products, and up until recently, unfortunately we had no choice, one of the biggest importers of copper cables from South Africa. And where are they getting it from? They're getting the copper from here. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
right?
make sense.
And then the other big one, of course, is farming, agricultural, and agro-processing again. How do we add value to both, to any natural resource we've been gifted? So agri is a massive one. The age-old saying that Zambia could be the bread basket for Africa, or at least this region easily. But we haven't done that yet. So there's a lot of exciting things happening.
Okay, that's very insightful. So for someone who's started various businesses, how do you think the current Zambian administration is fostering entrepreneurship and improving the business climate generally, and how do you think it could help you?
Yeah, I try not to mix politics and business. We live where we are, and inevitably in a small country like we are, or the two mix. Let's take it chronologically, right? The first thing this government did was bring stability. There was no secret that this was a sinking economy very rapidly. The fact that they just brought some sort of stability, they brought back law and order, that kind of calmed things down. We kind of had a direction now that we knew we were going. Definitely a step in the right direction. So first of all, it just stabilized that ship. It's definitely a more conducive investment environment. It's definitely a government that engages with the private sector more. And we've seen it. We've seen the results of that. We've seen companies like, just off the top of my head, for example, I was at one of their events last week, Cobalt Metals. What a tremendously meaningful investment in many aspects, right? The message it sends out that there's an ore body or a mining company investing that amount of money in Zambia, when there's many more destinations. As much as we like to think that we're unique and we love this country, Zambia is in a very, very tough competitive market for attracting this money. These billions are just floating around looking for a home, right? So Cobalt Metals, super cool company. never before technology in a sector which we consider ours, right?
Yeah.
There's all these big pledges. We've got a whole new set of investors from the Middle East now looking at our country, right? And actually putting foot down in our country. So these things matter a lot. We scale it down a little. Just across from where we sat now, Africa Works.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a Pan-African company. Okay, Financial Times is ranking it currently at, I think, 11th fastest growing in Africa.
Okay.
And they've just opened their second location here in Lusaka,
Mm-hmm.
and they're looking at already a third.
Okay.
It means that the ecosystem is growing.
Yeah.
There's something brewing. There's something positive happening. And there have been challenges, and there will be challenges. And I think this government, again, is trying to maneuver a lot of tight spaces. You know, let's not forget, the biggest achievement by far for me is the fact that they restructured the debt.
Yeah.
That big, heavy, dark cloud over all our heads, that's gone. We're hoping that's a thing of the history. Drought. We're still reliant on hydro, and if we have a drought, it affects not just, you know, electricity, but food and everything, right? So a lot of things still need to be sorted, still can be better, but it's easy to point fingers, but one must really understand what are the legacy issues people inherited. But you know, do I remain, if you ask me, am I positive or negative, I'd definitely say I'm positive.
Okay, I think you've touched on this a bit whilst we're having this conversation. As an honorary consul general of Greece in Zambia, part of your role is to promote relations and facilitate trade. What's one message you'd give to other countries who are considering investing in Zambia?
Yeah, so in that role, you know, why I loved that role is because it's two countries. I'm in a very special position to serve both countries' interests.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps me going, and why I've done it now for more than 10 years. And the first thing I do say, if it's between Greece or Zambia, or in my discussions whenever I travel or come across other international businessmen, for example, is to invite them to come and see.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The easiest thing is for you to sit behind the screen somewhere in an office far away and read some report, which sometimes good, sometimes bad, probably written by somebody else in another office.
Yeah.
And to get the real feel of this country. The minute you touch ground, the first thing you come across is the hospitality and friendliness of Zambians. Again, I don't know if you've got international viewers, but it's not it's not very common in our neighborhood. You know? Yeah. I mean, so that's one thing, right? But other than that, you know, I generally feel that Zambia is ripe. You know, it's very fertile for investment, for business. And you look at the chaos around us currently. There's not many places where there is this stability, there is this security for you to come and kind of judge business and its opportunities and its prospects, not for a quick buck or you know, come and go overnight kind of deal, but for the longer term now. And I think this government has played its role in that, to be honest, and the support it's gotten from cooperating partners and the like. So the first thing I tell them is come and see for yourself. You know what I mean? And the next thing I say is that if you do come here, you'll spend a lot of time navigating in circles. So the best thing to do is partner with locals, engage with locals, but equitably. So because there is value, we have good people, and you know, there's no way you'll manage this alone.
Yeah.
Not here.
It's true. So I recently saw a news item. I was a bit curious to find out, which is why I was also asking about this. You've been doing some philanthropic work. Could you tell us how you're working with the youth in the community? I
like to think myself as relatively young.
Okay. Yeah. You are still a youth, so. Yeah.
No, but listen, I you know, apart from the youth is the future and all that stuff we hear all the time. Obviously, it's true, and you want to get involved in. What's that thing that you lay in the bed you make, or you make your bed and then you lay in it, right?
Yes.
So in terms of business, one of the things we complain about is the lack of human capital or skilled capital, let's say, right? And that's another thing which we as the business sector always try and lobby. Let's make all these training centers, all these universities we're setting up and stuff like that. What are they teaching? I mean, do we need more? My friends are not going to like this, but do we need more lawyers?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Do we need more engineers? Yes, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And more guys in agriculture. So I sit on the board of a private school.
Okay.
A school my kids went to or are going to. Because of that, I believe in giving back and being an agent in that mission. And then on a more philanthropic, let's say, side of things, we do prioritize education. Like we get all sorts of requests and ideas to partner, and through our CSR program, and schools definitely climb up that list pretty quick. But recently, I had the pleasure and honor to be part of a scholarship program in Greece, where the Greek government, under the guidance actually of the Greek Orthodox Church, has set up and organized an annual scholarship program, starting from secondary school all the way through university. And as a role as Consul General of Greece, I was part of that team to facilitate and actually make this thing happen. So we sent just about a week or two ago 20 kids, 18 from Zambia, 2 from Mozambique, for fully paid scholarships. That's tuition and accommodation and everything. So we're hoping that will now establish itself, and we're hoping to send at least a dozen or two every year to Greece.
No, congratulations for that. It's an incredible feat, and I'm sure the people of Zambia are happy, and the people of Greece will also be happy to welcome Zambians. Yeah, so you've heard it. Less politics, more business, more prosperity. This has been BackChat with Michael Kroupnik. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time, and we are going to follow your journey, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.